But first, I want to talk to some victims of all this horror. Both victims are on the streets of Israel, of course, but people impacted by what we're seeing in Sydney and Melbourne. Joining me now for the human impact of all of this on Australian Jewry, a proud Australian Jews, Dr. Benny Monheit and Tamir Aloni. Benny and Tamir, I hope I didn't botch that for you, Benny.
No, that's fine.
Before we get into your personal stories, what's your reaction to what you saw play out in Sydney, first on Sunday night and then that horrific pro-Hamas rally at the Sydney Opera House, and concerns that I know are being felt in the Melbourne Jewish community as well?
I was shocked. I didn't believe it. And then I got a bit scared, really, because this is what other Australians are saying about Jews. It makes me feel less secure. And I'm really worried about what this means for our Western democracy in really, not only in Australia, but we're seeing the same in Europe and even in America, that they've forgotten about the Holocaust and what Nazis did. This is almost a mirror image of that, and we know where this goes. We've seen it before.
Tamir, I had the same reaction, that how could, in my lifetime, in your lifetime, how could humanity appear to have forgotten what we know occurred so monstrously in history? What's been your reaction and that of your family as you watch this play out?
Look, as a grandson of a Holocaust survivor, this is a very personal, affecting moment in history. We really feel the anti-Semitism is rising everywhere at the moment, and it's scaring the Jewish community in terms of their safety, even in Australia.
Benny, tell me about your family member. I understand someone you love in Israel has been taken hostage. What can you tell us?
I got a text message from one of my cousins who lives in the southern part of Israel to say that Margalit has been abducted in Gaza. They didn't have any other information. I tried to ring Margalit. I tried her Facebook page. There is no answer. I rang other members of the family. They don't know exactly what happened. No one has been able to get in touch or give me any extra information. So there is almost sort of like disbelief there. When I spoke to them yesterday, there was still this feeling of, this isn't real, you know. So I haven't really got any information at all, which makes it worse.
What can you tell us about Margalit? What was she doing? You know, did she have family?
She is a 74-year-old woman who was born in Israel, worked on the kibbutz there. It's a grape-growing area, brought up her family and kids. And she was a lovely family member. She she's an artist, and we sort of saw her when we visited Israel every few years. Every 2 or 3 years we go there. But why would anyone want to kidnap a 73-year-old grandmother? I mean, it's just horrible.
And what about your family?
So the initial raid that occurred on Saturday morning was centred around the villages in the south of Israel. My close family, my cousins, live in a place called Enapso. It's in the south of Israel. My cousin, who was called up very early to say there's something going on, you need to go to the front gate of the village. He very soon encountered unspecified, but a large number of Hamas operatives that were there. They had started to fire on him. He fired back. There was a gun battle that ensued. He was able to repel that entire Hamas cell that was there trying to invade his particular village. By doing so,
Wow.
that one village was the one that was spared out of all of them that wasn't overrun by Hamas. He sustained a bullet wound to his shoulder. When he was evacuated by his brother, my other cousin, who lives also at this same village, they were then ambushed by another cell that was operating in a very close by area. The car was covered in bullets. He sustained 2 further gunshots to his buttocks, but he was okay. They managed to then go back, retreat into the village, got first aid, and eventually, hours later, he got to hospital to be taken care of. But he's okay.
I want just quickly, if you can, Tamir, people to understand that, Israel's a small country of 9 million people. It doesn't have a massive standing army like the United States or elsewhere. And that over the last 48, 72 hours, when they've called in the reservists, the 400,000 reservists now, to literally go in the front line, we're talking about people who work in professions, young people that are literally picking up machine guns, aren't they, now to defend their country?
Absolutely. I mean, with a country of 9 million people, 400,000 adult men, mostly men, but is a huge toll on the workforce, on everything. Essentially, Israel at the moment is in a state of war, and therefore it's not operating as per normal. And all these people have dropped literally everything. Many of them have not even been asked to come. They've literally just gone, okay, there's a war. We've seen, we've heard. We are going to defend our nation with everything that we have. And irrespective of what their professional background is, as soon as they put that uniform on, it's about the country.
I know you were feeling shock and anger and disbelief about what's happened, not just in Israel, but what you've seen here in Australia. I say this on behalf of the non-Jewish Australian population. So many of us, we are angered by what we've seen here in Australia too, and we are shamed by what has happened, and we stand with you. So thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.